A tower is collapsing, stone cracking, students screaming somewhere below. In the middle of it, Sophie, pale, transformed, unrecognizable, leans in and kisses a man she thinks she loves. The second their lips touch, the whole world starts writing itself into ruin. She pulls back, horror on her face, because she just realized who she's kissing. It's not her prince. It's Rafal. And Rafal isn't just the villain of this story. He's been wearing another man's face for 200 years. So how does a girl who just wanted to be a princess end up kissing the monster who destroys the world? 3 weeks earlier, she didn't even believe magic was real. Gavalden is the kind of village nothing ever happens in. And Sophie hates it. She's poor. She shares one house with too many siblings. And she has one obsession: fairy tales. Princesses. Castles. A perfect ending. She reads about them like scripture. Her best friend is the opposite of all that. Agatha lives near Graves Hill with her mother, a self-declared witch whose potions have never once worked. Agatha doesn't want a fairy tale. She just wants to be left alone. Neither of them fits in Gavalden. That's exactly why they're inseparable. When a man in the square starts screaming that Agatha is a witch, Sophie doesn't hesitate. She grabs the nearest frying pan and cracks him over the head. Problem solved, Sophie's way. That afternoon, the girls hear a story at the library. 20 years ago, a girl named Leonora vanished in the night. Legend says she was taken to a school where fairy tales begin, the school for good and evil. Sophie can't stop thinking about it. That night, she writes a letter, leaves it at the wishing tree, and waits. Nobody comes, so Sophie decides to save herself. She packs a bag to run away, and that's when the sky turns red. A creature grabs her. She's terrified, then thrilled. Agatha chases after her, refusing to let her vanish alone, and a giant bird snatches them both. They wake up at the school. Together, they think. Wrong. Agatha drops into a garden full of flowers and princesses. Sophie lands in a pit of monsters and villains. The girl who dreamed her whole life of being good just got thrown into evil. And her best friend, who never wanted any of this, just got handed the fairy tale. Before Agatha can even process where she is, a prince walks in and the entire school loses its mind. Tedros, son of King Arthur. Every girl in the room falls for him on sight. Sophie hardest of all. He pulls Excalibur and drops a Cyclops without breaking a sweat. Sophie has a new plan already. Forget escaping the school. When the prince instead. The principal, a calm, gray-haired man named Ryan, tells both girls the same thing when they beg to switch schools. There's been no mistake. They're exactly where they belong. Agatha refuses to accept that. That night, she climbs across the rooftops into the school for evil to find Sophie, and finds something much worse first. A pool of blood rises into a man. Rafal, the evil brother everyone believed died decades ago. He gives Agatha one warning: stay away from Sophie. She has a destiny to fulfill. Agatha doesn't understand it yet, but she knows it's bad. The girls eventually learn the one way Sophie could prove she belongs in the school for good: true love's kiss. And Sophie already knows who she wants it from. Survival class in the Blue Forest goes wrong fast. A student named Gregor gets bitten by a carnivorous flower and panics, breaking the class's one rule: fail 3 times, and you don't get expelled. You get transformed. Meanwhile, in a talent class, a witch named Hester sicks her pet monster on Sophie. Sophie has no idea what her own powers even are, until a swarm of bees explodes into the room and tears the monster apart on her command. Everyone stares at her like she's dangerous, because for 1 second, hovering in the swarm, they all see a face: Rafal. Lady Lesso pulls Sophie aside afterward and tells her something that breaks her heart. Powers like that don't belong in the school for good. They belong in evil. Days later, at the school's wishing lake, a girl who drowned there over 100 years ago rises out of the water, freed, for the first time, because someone finally wished for her instead of for themselves. That someone is Agatha. It's the purest act of good the school has seen in years. Professor Dovey says so herself, but the celebration doesn't last. A giant bird swoops in, and it's Gregor, already transformed. Tedros, thinking Agatha's in danger, throws his sword and kills him instantly. Agatha is devastated. She hits Tedros, blames him, and for the first time, we see how much she actually cares, even when she'd never admit it. Later, Sophie gets dragged to a punishment room. Lady Lesso ties her down and cuts off her hair with an axe, telling her that Beauty has been hiding who she really is. That night, of course, Rafal visits Sophie again. Stop caring about the rules, he tells her. Do whatever it takes. She starts listening. When her powers finally unlock, Sophie looks like a completely different girl. She's colder, meaner. She starts making friends with the villains who used to hate her. And somehow, that new version of Sophie is exactly convincing enough that Tedros starts to believe she might not be evil after all. He invites her to the school dance. Chaos. A prince inviting a girl from the school for evil breaks a 200-year-old rule, and everyone has an opinion about it. The principal sets a trial. Sophie and Tedros enter the Blue Forest from opposite sides and have to find each other before sunrise. If either one gives up, they drop a red scarf and get pulled to safety. The second Sophie steps into the trees, deadly flowers nearly kill her. Agatha, without telling anyone, sneaks out, turns herself into a dove, and follows. A monster with a pumpkin for a head nearly gets Sophie. Agatha saves her. Then it goes after Tedros, and when he loses his sword mid-fight, Sophie freezes completely. She doesn't move. She's too scared. So Agatha does it instead. She gets Tedros his sword back, secretly. He wins, but he realizes what actually happened. Sophie cheated. Sophie froze. Tedros drops his scarf and walks away from the whole trial. Sophie's fury lands on the one person who actually saved her. "I declare war on you," she tells Agatha and storms off. Deep in the forest, Agatha runs straight into Rafal again, and this time, he's smiling, pleased, like everything just went exactly the way he planned it. She finally understands. This was never a coincidence. That same night, locked away as punishment, Sophie gets one more visit from Rafal. This time, he doesn't just talk to her. He starts teaching her blood magic. Sophie goes missing. Every teacher in the school splits up to search for her. Agatha finds her first at the dance. But the girl standing there isn't really Sophie anymore. Darker, colder. Something underneath her skin has changed. Lady Lesso takes one look at her and goes pale. Because Sophie knows something she was never supposed to know. Rafal told her everything. 20 years ago, a lonely girl from Gavalden who loved books and dreamed of escaping disappeared into the night. Her name was Leonora. Rafal found the darkness hiding inside her, and he unlocked it. The same way he's unlocking Sophie's now. Leonora became Lady Lesso. While the teachers scramble to understand what's happening, Agatha runs into Tedros. And he says something she isn't ready for. He believes she's his true love, not Sophie, her. Before Agatha can even sit with that, Sophie walks into the room and sees exactly what's happening between them. Betrayal, jealousy, heartbreak, all of it hits her at once. Sophie waves one hand, and every prince's sword in the room melts like wax. "I declare war," she says again. This time, she means the whole school. By morning, every single teacher, from both schools, has been turned into a doll. There's no one left to stop what's coming. There's one problem for the side of good. Their magic only works in defense. If they strike first, they become the thing they're fighting. Agatha refuses to let that happen. She walks straight into the villain's camp, alone, hoping to talk Sophie down. She finds a party. Villains laughing, dancing, waiting eagerly for a war they're sure they'll win. The heroes storm the tower anyway. Arrows fired at Sophie turn into flowers before they even reach her. And then the entire balance flips. Good becomes evil. Evil becomes good. Witches end up in ball gowns. Princes twist into something darker, Tedros included. A full-scale war rips through the school, and Sophie stands above it, calm, controlling the whole thing like a queen enjoying a coronation. Agatha begs everyone to stop. Nobody's listening anymore. When Tedros goes down in the fighting, Agatha runs for him, and Sophie captures her before she gets there. Locked away, Sophie is dragged up to the headmaster's tower to face the man who orchestrated all of it. And that's when the biggest secret in the whole story finally comes out. Principal Ryan, the calm, kind headmaster both girls trusted from day one, isn't Ryan at all. He's Rafal. He never lost that battle on the cliff 200 years ago. He let his own brother believe they'd survive together, then stabbed him in the back the moment Ryan trusted him most. He's been wearing his twin's identity for 2 centuries, quietly poisoning the idea of good from the inside, making it vain, selfish, obsessed with appearances. Sophie was never an accident. She was the final piece. He wants her to rule beside him, forever. But first, he tells her, they have to seal it. True love's kiss. Confused, emotional, desperate to believe someone finally wants her exactly as she is. Sophie kisses him. The moment their lips touch, the story starts writing its own ending, and it's not the one Sophie wanted. Buildings collapse. Students scream below. Sophie understands, all at once, exactly what she's done. Rafal never wanted to rule beside anyone. He wanted to burn the whole world down and start over. That's when Agatha reaches the tower. Sophie runs to her, and for 1 second, none of the war matters. Just 2 best friends, holding on to each other in the middle of the end of the world. Rafal orders Agatha to stay away from his fiancée. Agatha doesn't move an inch. "As long as I'm alive," she says, "you'll never take her from me." Furious, Rafal raises the magical story pen itself and sends a killing blow straight at Agatha. Sophie doesn't think. She jumps in front of it. The attack hits her directly in the heart. For the first time in this entire story, Sophie shows real love. Not the kind she's been chasing her whole life. The kind meant to win a prince and a happy ending. The kind that asks for nothing back. And the second she does, the balance between good and evil snaps back into place. The school starts rebuilding itself, stone by stone, right in front of Rafal's eyes. Tedros storms in to finish it, but Rafal throws him aside and pins him down. So Agatha picks up Excalibur herself, and with Sophie's help, drives it straight into Rafal's chest. He crumbles into ash. 200 years of evil, gone in seconds. Agatha doesn't celebrate. She runs straight back to Sophie. Sophie is barely breathing. With the last of her strength, she tells Agatha she never wanted to be evil. "You're not evil," Agatha tells her. "You're human. Everyone has both sides in them. What matters is what you choose." Sophie says she loves her, that she'll always be her best friend. Then she stops moving. Agatha breaks down beside her, until she hears it. A heartbeat. Sophie's alive. Together, the 2 girls didn't just survive the school for good and evil. They rewrote what the words even mean. Good and evil, finally learning to exist in the same story instead of at war with it. Sophie and Agatha go home to Gavalden. Their families welcome them back with open arms, and this time, nobody in that village gets to call them witches without regretting it. For a moment, it really does look like the perfect ending. Then Tedros fires one last arrow, and it doesn't stop at the horizon. It rips straight through the barrier between worlds. Which means whatever this story just ended, it's not actually over. It's only just begun. So what did you think of this one? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the recap, hit like and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.